Good afternoon. Thank you for having a look at this video. This video is one I thought I'd put up because it just shows a problem that can be solved when you're restoring an accordion. So the accordion I'm restoring is this Parrot 48 bass. So this is, it's all in bits because I've been working on it. So the 48 bass, 3 voice in the treble, 4 reeds in the bass. So that's the treble side. In fact, it's 60. It's a 60 bass. There we are. And that's the bass side. I've taken all the reeds out of that. So I've been working on this and I've come to do the bass reeds, and I knew that the reeds weren't in great condition, but when I took them out I was a little bit surprised to see just what they look like. So I don't know if I can. So this is the 2 of the reed sets on the bass side. I don't know if you can see that easy, but anyway, it's quite a lot of corrosion, and there's so much corrosion on some of the reeds that they've gone particularly flat. Now if I show you the this beauty, this is the other set, and there's some significant corrosion on these reeds. So a lot of these reeds I would say are unusable, but I've got a plan. So my plan is to take advantage of some reeds that I've taken from an accordion that I couldn't fix, a kind of parts accordion, so I couldn't fix it, so I just kept the reeds and the reed blocks. And this actually came from a little scandalli, which is a nice little Italian accordion. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these reeds, these bass reeds, and pop them into this reed block wholesale. So I'm just going to take all these reeds out and I'm going to put the scandalli reeds in instead. There might be a little bit of jiggery pokery needed because if the reed chamber is slightly too big, or maybe it's small but probably too big, then I might have to do a little bit of work just to make sure that the reed chambers are the right size to accept the different reeds. So that's what I'm going to do for this reed set, these 2 reed sets, and this one, which has got some reeds which are in a particularly corroded state. I haven't got another bass reed block with these reeds on, so what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to rely on my collection of spare reeds I've got here. And what I've done, all the reeds I've taken off parts accordions, or most of them anyway, I've put them in and labelled them, you know, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. So they're all in pitch order. So I'm just going to have to dig around in my little trays of reeds and just replace the reeds as necessary. So I thought this would be quite a nice little job, because it shows how to solve a problem of corroded reeds. If I tried to just take all the rust off, I don't think it would have worked. I think it would just have needed too much scraping and sanding, and the reeds would just been a little bit tired after that. So I think a whole scale replacement of the one set, and then finding some replacement reeds for the other sets, these ones here. So this is what the video is going to be about. So what I'm going to do now is take out all of the scandalli reeds and give them a clean. And before I've done that, I've just made sure that I'm happy with the order, the pitch order of the reeds. So they don't go up in like a chromatic scale on this one. They're kind of they go up in the kind of pattern that you'd find when you play the bass buttons. So I made a note of the pitch order of the reeds, so that when I've come to put them back in, I put them in the right way round and the right order. So what I'm going to do next is take off the scandalli reeds and give them a little clean. So to do that, I might just see if I can zoom in. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is remove these reeds. Let's just bring that down a touch. There you go. Remove these reeds, and the best way that I find to do this is to get a little blade, like a little penknife blade, and then what I'm going to have to do is take out the pins actually first, the little pins, just along here. So I'm just going to lever up the pins, so let's see if I can get those out. Actually the penknife blade is quite good for that as well. So I'll get the pins out first, and then I'll show you taking out the reeds. Okay, radio, I've got the little pins out. They were just extra anchoring, I suppose. And I'm going to get a sharp craft knife, voila, and I'm going to score just along this bottom edge, like so. That what I'm going to do here is just helping, and then I go along that side as well, might as well. Just helping the reeds out because we're just breaking this in a little bit. Oh, that's gone already, look. Breaking this in a little bit. And then once I've got that done, then I can just get my little blade, carefully lever, oopsie, lever these off. These will just come off, like so. So it's nice to be able to use these reeds that I've just been keeping for a rainy day, because I knew that they were quite nice reeds, and they were one day they'd come in handy. And here we go. So it's going to be a little bit of an upgrade really, because it's the Chinese accordion. I'm going to be putting some Italian reeds in, so it's going to have a real treat. Alright, let's get this side out as well, keeping them separate. Now, taking the reeds out of a reed block is a messy job. It always is. And when you start kind of taking the reeds out, the wax tends to fly everywhere. So if you've got like a cup of tea on your bench and you start messing around with this wax that's been there for like years and years, it can fly everywhere, including, in my experience, into your cup of tea. So if you have got a cup of tea and you're doing this kind of malarkey, suggest just putting something over the top of the cup so you don't get it so full of wax. Right, so all these reeds are out. And what I'm going to do, I don't need to clean that reed block up because I'm not going to use that one. So what I'm going to do now is take all the valves off, and I'm going to clean off and scrape off any of the wax that's left there, and I'll come back and show you when I've got all that cleaned up. There we go. So we now have got the two sets of scandalli reeds taken off, and I've scraped off as much of the wax and glue and everything else, so they're pretty clean. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put them through the ultrasonic for about 10 minutes. I've got some warm water and just a drop of fairy liquid in there, and once they've come out, I'm going to get my hairdryer. I'm going to give them a good old heat and go to warm up, get rid of all the water, so we haven't got any water kicking around, hanging around on the reeds. So I'm going to get them nice and sparkly, and then dry them off thoroughly, and they should come up nice and shiny and clean, and get rid of any last bits of wax and glue and everything else. So start with, do one set at a time so we don't get muddled up. Just pop these in, give it 10 minutes or so. See what they look like. So there we are. So I'll come back in a few minutes and I'll show you all of these reeds cleaned up. Okay, here we are. So all the reeds are now looking nice and shiny. I'll just turn around. There we go. Whee. A bit wobbly. So that's looking nice. So they're ready to go. So the next job is to get the reeds which are not in good shape out of this reed block, and then clean up this reed block, and then assess how well the replacement reeds are going to fit into this reed block. So next step, I'll get all the reeds out of this reed block. Okay, I'll show you when I've done it. Okay, so the reeds are cleaned up. I've cleaned up the reed block. Now, if I offer up the reeds to the reed chambers, like so, I can see that there's a little bit of an issue. So this reed chamber is too narrow, very slightly too narrow, and also slightly too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make some changes to the reed chambers, and I've got some thin some wood here. I think this is very thin spruce that I've used for something else, only like a mil thick, maybe 2, and I've cut a long strip of it, and then I've just cut some pieces to size. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one piece on one side of the chamber, and I'm going to put 1 or 2 pieces at the end. I'm going to glue them in. So glue these in and just change the size of that chamber, and I'm going to pack it out on the side of the chamber where when the reed's sitting down in the reed block. I'm going to pack it out on the side where the reed is, rather than where the valve will be, because I don't want the valve to get caught up in any way. So I'm just going to do it on the side where the reed is on the underside, if that makes any sense. So all I'm going to do now is get some wood glue, and I'm just going to do a little bit of adjusting of these slots so I can put these reeds in. So let's find some wood glue. I've got some PVA glue here, so that should do the job. And let's find something. Let's find some bits and bobs. A brush. Okay, so let's put some wood glue just on there, like so. I'll get my little brush, and I've got bits of wood like so, and I'm just going to first of all start off with the longer section. So just put a little bit of a coating of this. On that one. Like that a bit. And I'm just going to sit that in there. Nice and straight. Yeah, maybe. Gonna kind of get flush. Here we are. And I'm going to do the same thing for the shorter section. That in as well. Trying to make sure it's level with the upper side. And what I'm going to do is go along, and I'm going to just pack out these reed chambers in that way, so along the long edge and the short edge, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all been done. Okay, so I've now finished my altering the reed chambers. So I've now popped in the extra bits of thin wood just to pack them out, to accept the new size of reed. So that now sits really, really well and just sits nice and securely without falling into the chamber. And so I'm really pleased with that. So the next job is to have a look at the other side and just check the other set of reeds. And I think I'm going to have to do a little bit more packing out, just a little bit, not so much as the other side. And once I've got all those packed out and double checked, I'm then going to valve the reeds, and then I'll wax them back in again, and then that should give a nice little professional finish to that, really. So I'm going to just check on the other side of the reed block now and see if that needs any more packing out, and then once I've done that, I'll revolve and I'll wax them in, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, so I'll just stop that for a tick. Here we go. So I've now finished preparing the reed block by adding kind of shims of wood to the chambers on both sides of this reed block, and that's made the size of the chamber just the right size for the reeds, which I'm going to go into them now. The other reed block, I've just used the same reeds, just cleaned them up, just replaced one or two that were corroded, but that was okay. So that's the bigger two sets of reeds. So here I've got all the reeds. There we go, all the reeds ready. In fact, I could turn it that way. There we go. That's all 48 of the reed plates for the base side of this accordion. So they've all cleaned, they've all been revolved, and they're all ready to go back into the reed blocks. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wax them all in using my wax heater, and just going to get them all waxed in nicely. So once I've got them waxed into the reed blocks, I'll just show you what that looks like. And then the final step is to put the reed blocks back into the accordion and just to see how things sound, because the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as they say. So we'll see what this reed setup sounds like. I'm hoping it's going to sound really, really nice. Okay, so I'll just stop there for a minute and get on with my waxing. Okie dokie. So here we go. So waxed in the reeds, looking nice and tidy. So that's that one. This one. All ready to go. So it does make a nice difference to get all the reeds nicely in, all waxed. So I'm going to leave those for a bit, let the wax cool down and harden, and make sure it's not going to be too soft. So as soon as that's kind of hardened off, probably by tomorrow morning, I'm going to leave it now. Pop them back into the accordion, and let's see what they sound like. Okay. Hey, hello. So this is the final little step now from my transposition of some Italian reeds into this Chinese Parrot accordion. So the Parrot bass reeds were getting a little bit tired. It's quite a lot of corrosion, so I found some nice scandalli bass reeds, and I thought I'll pop them in here and see what happens. So I've made sure all the reeds were cleaned up, and I revolved them all, re-waxed them all, and I've just popped them in. Haven't done any tuning yet, so I'm going to might need to do some tuning in a bit, but I think it sounds pretty nice. But let's have a listen. We'll just move around into that. So I haven't got any straps on at the moment, so it's a bit difficult to play. Over here. think. So I'm really pleased. It sounds nice. It's got a nice tone. A little bit of tuning needed. I can hear that, particularly when playing some chords, I can just hear that they're not quite as tuned as I'd like it to be. So what I'll do now, I'll just get my tuner out on my laptop and do a little bit of looking at the bass notes and the chords and just try and get them tuned up a little bit. But the actual sound is really nice. So I'm looking forward to now finishing this accordion off, getting the treble C reeds back in, getting it all finished off. So I might even do another little video of this Parrot when everything's completed. So there we go. That was just a little, not a little video, but quite a long video, but about transposing, or what's the word, teleporting reeds from another accordion into an accordion that you're working on, and doing a little bit of an altering of the reed block to allow the reed block to accept a slightly smaller size reed. So I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching, and I reckon the next video will probably be this Parrot all finished and just seeing how it sounds. Okay, thank you.